English class. Let's talk about Christopher Columbus. Yesterday was Columbus Day, so the day that we celebrate Cristobal Colon and how he came and discovered America, North America, South America, Central America. So we're going to read a little bit more about him today. Christopher Columbus, he was someone who he was an explorer. He loved to find new places. He loved learning about what the world looked like, what the world was even made of, and where things were in the world. And he wanted a little bit of riches and power and things like that. So he went looking for it. He did not know that there was extra land. He only thought he was going to make it around the world to China. But then he ran into America, and we're very thankful that he did. So I want you guys to take your Christopher Columbus book, and you're going to open up to the very next page that we're going to read, which is all about Christopher Columbus. Now you can see I've started to decorate the page, but I have not finished, so I'm going to finish for my homework just like you're going to finish for your homework. We're going to do this page and the page right behind it today. This one. Here. Not this one. This is tomorrow. So this page right here, whoops, and this page. Okay. We're going to do the same thing that we've been doing. I'll read it in English and then in Spanish to help you guys understand the most out of it. Let's get started reading about Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was born in Italy. Even at a young age, Columbus loved the sea. He lived near the water, and by his teens, he was a good sailor. When he was 25, he sailed to Portugal. Pirates attacked his ship, and it was destroyed. Columbus escaped and made it back to land safely. So he loved being by the ocean. He loved exploring. He loved being out on the water. Are there any of you who like being out on the water? How many of you like to get on a boat? How many of you like to fish? How many of you like to go find the different keys and different islands that are around? It's fun, right? If you don't like that sort of thing, that's okay. But those of you who do, you understand what Christopher Columbus felt like when he was exploring. Let's read this paragraph in Spanish. Okay, ready? Oops, I wasn't ready. Hold on. Cristobal Colon nació en Italia. Incluso a una edad temprana, a Colón le encantó el mar. Vivía cerca del agua y del tiempo fue un adolescente. Era un buen marinero. Cuando tenía 25 años, navegó a Portugal. Los piratas atacaron su barco y fue destruido. Colón escapó y volvió a la tierra con seguridad. Okay, that's interesting, right? Could you imagine being attacked by pirates? Oof, that'd be scary. How many of you would not want to go back on the water? I wouldn't. I'd be like, no, I'm done. No more, no more. But not Christopher Columbus. God had given him a curiosity, a love for the sea, a love for exploring, and God's going to use that greatly in his life. So we're going to see what happens. So let's look at the section that says his mission and goals. This is su misión y objetivos. Columbus believed that the circumference of the world was less than 20,000 miles around. He thought that traveling west across the Atlantic Ocean was the fastest and safest way to get to China. His goal was to find a shorter route to India and China in his quest for gold, silk, and spices. Sailing trips were expensive, so Columbus went to the King and Queen of Spain to ask them to pay for his journey. They agreed to sponsor him. They gave him 3 ships and a crew of 90 men. It took them almost 4 months to sail across the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, stop there. So Columbus, he's from Italy, which is right there, okay? He did not find anyone in Italy or even Portugal who were going to help him pay for his trip, so he had to travel over to Spain. He thinks that the world is only about that big around and that he can sail whoosh and be at China rather than going over the land. So that's what he wants to do. And remember, there are a lot of people at this time who believed the world was flat and that he couldn't get all the way around. And so there were a lot of people that did not want to pay for his trip. But the king and queen of Spain, they were sabio and they knew, hey, if he finds this, then we are going to have a lot of power and influence because we are going to have access to all of this stuff that he'll find in China, gold and spices and all that cool stuff. Okay, let's read this in Spanish and see how well you understood the paragraph. Colón creía que la circunferencia del mundo estaba a menos de 20,000 millas. Pensó que viajar al oeste a través del Océano Atlántico era la manera más rápida y segura de llegar a China. Su objetivo era encontrar una ruta más corta a la India y China en su búsqueda de oro, seda y especias. Los viajes a vela eran caros, así que Colón fue al rey y la reina de España para pedirles que pagaran por su viaje. Acordaron patrocinarlo. Le dieron 3 naves y una tripulación de 90 hombres. Les tomó casi 4 meses navegar a través del Océano Atlántico. Whew, that's a long time to be on a boat, right? How would you like to be on a boat for 4 months? And it's not like the cruceros today. Oh no, when you slept, you were in a teeny tiny space in like a hammock or a hard wooden bunk, and oof, you would toss and turn with the waves. A lot of people got seasick. Oh, and you didn't have good food like we had here. Remember we talked about how you ate salted meat, beans, rice, and something called hardtack, which was like a really hard bread. It was hard because of all the stuff they put in it, so it wouldn't go bad. Not quite the same, but it would be adventurous. So if you're up for adventure, that's the job for you. Let's keep reading where it says Columbus expected. Columbus expected to see buildings of gold, but instead he was greeted by Native Americans. The Indians, as Columbus called them, because he thought he had reached India, were friendly and gave them food. Columbus wanted to be rich and powerful. He demanded the Native Americans give him their gold. He had landed in the Bahamas. They didn't have any gold. He left a group of men behind to create a settlement in Hispaniola and headed home. When he made it back to Spain, he was treated like a hero. Because at that time, everyone thought he really had reached India, including Christopher Columbus. It was a little while later that they realized he hadn't. But everyone thought he's made it, and they're gonna, even though he didn't find gold on this trip, they believed that he would soon. So let's read this in Spanish. Colón esperaba ver edificios de oro, pero en cambio fue recibido por los nativos americanos. Los indios, como los llamó Colón, eran amables y les daban comida. Colón quería ser rico y poderoso. Exigió a los nativos americanos que le den su oro. Había aterrizado en las Bahamas. No hay oro. Dejó un grupo de hombres atrás para crear un asentamiento en la Española y se dirigió de vuelta a casa. Cuando volvió a España, fue tratado como un héroe. Because even though he hadn't found China and a route to India like he thought, he still found something pretty great. He found a new world to explore. So no matter what, that was a pretty big accomplishment. Let's read where